What have you ducked up already today? I sent out an email to over 100 people with some info on it. Thought I messed up, so replied all saying Hayes was wrong. Then realized it was actually right, so had to send a third email saying actually Hayes was right the first time. I hate doing stuff like that. Who off? Just got contact embarrassment. I have a really bad habit of typing an email please see attached before actually adding the attachment. I've sent a lot of emails like this, usually noticing right away and resending. I was emailing a resume once, said please see attached resume, and of course didn't send it. They told me as much in their next email. I responded with something like, sorry for the inconvenience, I should have looked more carefully before sending that email. Please see attached resume. I didn't attach the resume. I didn't get the job. Dear God. Oh, I used to do this all the time at my last job, but my saving grace was the email program we were using automatically pauses sending and asks you to double check if you have the word attached in the email without attaching anything. I pushed out an application in our production environment the wrong way and made 400 computers reboot. Still employed? Boss can't finalize termination while computer is restarting. It's big brain time. Pro gamer move. Modern problems equals modern solution. Edit. I really hate to be that guy but this is my first award, so thanks dude. Another meme. Another meme requires another meme on top. Pimp my right meme bye bye. Job interview. Company X representative. So it says here you say your goal is an entry level job? Me. Yes, that's correct. Company X representative, your resume says here that you seek an entry level job with company Y. How will that help you here? Me realizing I sent the wrong resume. UHH. Duak. Edit. Ironically, I got the job at company Y instead. Life works that way sometimes. You should have just been like, well I guess I won't bother with that other interview I had today. You show an aptitude for sales. I got one of these. In college I was applying for a co-op internship at some big corporate company. Co-ops are like 6-month-long internships required as part of the curriculum. Of course like all applicants I wanted to make myself sound as appealing as possible. So I decided to change familiar with basic Spanish to proficient Spanish speaker on my resume. The job didn't have anything to do with speaking Spanish as far as I knew, so I figured it was a harmless fudge, and they'd never find out the extent of my Spanish knowledge was the 3 years I'd taken in high school, now several years in the past. Well I get to the interview, dressed my best, had studied my Q's and A's, and was prepared to respond to any so, what is your biggest weakness, type they may throw at me. Everything starts out seemingly going well. Until she reads through the copy of my resume I gave her. Oh, you speak Spanish. That's great. We've been hoping to find someone to help in our South American division. Let me grab my colleague. Before I could respond she leaves the room and quickly returns with a woman who is clearly of Latin descent. The original interview says to her this is him. He says he speaks Spanish well. I'm sweating. The Latin lady looks at me and immediately starts going off in full speed Spanish. I could tell she was asking me questions, but have almost no idea what she's saying. I tried desperately to remember anything left in my brain from high school, but think I just stammered "see" a bunch of times, while smiling and nodding like an idiot. Eventually I just said sorry I'm a little rusty, it's been a while. She just gave me an annoyed look and left the room. Needless to say the rest of the interview was pretty awkward. A decade later, and that remains the only job interview in my life that I didn't get an offer from. Valuable LPT learned that day. Don't put anything on your resume you're not prepared to potentially get called out on. I'd be so horrified. Getting called out sucks. I don't believe I lied. We just clearly have different definitions of proficient. I'm 2 hours late to work. So, yes. 40 minutes early to work. Can't clock in yet. Why though? Overachieving. Can't be late if you're early. I get to the parking lot at work at 4:55 am every day. Don't clock in until 5:30 though. Make sure I'm set up for the day and have a cup of coffee with the guys before we start. The only part I understood is that you chill with your butts before you start work. The part that truly doesn't compute to me is getting to work at 4:55 am, and I count myself lucky for that. A teacher whose name I don't even know at my son's daycare said bye, love you too after I told my son love you buddy, have a good day on my way out, so I'm pretty sure she's had a morning full of cringe. Or maybe she was like, finally, I was brave enough to say it to him. Bring her flowers, just in case. What if she loves the flowers a little too much, and it will even down spiral more? Hopefully, allergic. As long as there is love there is a way. Off allergic, you are nothing to me. Nothing's immune to love. I lost my wallet in my apartment somewhere, and we swipe our student IDs to get into the apartment, so I'm locked out. Can't get lunch for the same reason. Talk to the cashier and ask if she will charge you twice tomorrow. Actually follow through, because you need that person on your side going forward. In my school, if you didn't use your swipe within the specified time period, it was just gone into thin air. Even though you paid real money for it. If you paid extra money for your meal plan, you got the privilege of not being restricted to certain time periods. But if you didn't use your swipes by the end of the day, gone into thin air. And if you lived on campus, you had to purchase a meal plan. This was part of the reason I moved off campus after the first year. I was paying, like quadruple the amount of money, to feed myself with those meal plans than I would just going to the grocery store and packing breakfast and lunch, then making dinner when I got home. And like 25% of it went to waste. I was supposed to tie down my trash can for Hurricane Dorian, but forgot. Thankfully it was just tipped over. Alabama? I hear Alabama almost got wiped off the map. Didn't get wiped out, but has a huge black mark on them now. Upon closer inspection it turned out to be hamburger grease. Snooze button. On 3 different devices. Alarm clock stream. You can set it, so you can't snooze more than a specified number of times, and have to solve math problems to cut the alarm off. Even on hard difficulty, I just ended up memorizing the problems after a while. I just have the Nest thermostat heat my room to 80 degrees every morning. Smokes me out of the covers lol. Edit. 80 deg.f sorry I'm a filthy American. What an incredibly expensive solution. Less expensive than getting fired, and also less expensive than putting my phone through a wall. I really should have showered this morning, but laying in bed until the absolute last minute was just more appealing. Well, I'll have those days. And it's every day. Shower at night before bed. Problem solved. I shower at night, because I know for a fact I will not get up early enough to shower. I've woken up in the shower a few times. I was doing a working internship and tutoring for extra credits and not sleeping like I should have. Didn't have safety goggles for my chemical lab, so I got kicked out. Feel your pain. Wore shorts to my chemical second lab without realizing. Made it with halfway through without being noticed. Edit. Forgot to mention this was my lab final, so I don't think leaving to change was an option unfortunately. When I was in college I wore shorts to my chemical lab too. Luckily they had some huge sweatpants to loan out, so I wore those over my shorts. When it was time to leave my tar was standing near me, so I turned to him, looked him in the eye, and yanked the pants down. He was real scared for a few seconds haha. I was at an orchestra course one time, and this guy was always wearing shorts, sun or rain. So, when we get to the jokey award ceremony at the end, we get to the shorts award or something. I think it was named after him too. He knew about this award, so he had put together a funny plan. He'd be wearing his shorts, and over them, he'd be wearing his baggy trousers. So he did. When he went up to get the award, the guy giving the award made some slightly disappointed comment. "Oh, not today apparently" kind of thing. Time for the plan. Award winner decides to take off the trousers, revealing the shorts, to great applause and laughter. Yeah, he took the shorts off too. Trousers were too tight. His boxers were, luckily, still on, but he was certainly embarrassed. Still got the laughs out of it, though. Also, most embarrassing moment was re-awarded to him. Was working on some accounting homework and came, not for the first time, to the conclusion that I don't want to be an accountant at all. I graduate in May. Update. Wow. Went to work and was shocked when I got home. Thanks for all of the kind words, experiences, and advice. I've been in an awful mood all day and that helped. A little about my situation. I'm 31, will be 32 when I graduate and this is my 4th college. I've been in the service industry for a decade and truly ducking hate it. I'm so close to getting out now that I'm not going to change course again, but I don't think I'll be pursuing an actual accounting job when I graduate. Get your CPA. You can go into many fields with an accounting degree, not just sitting behind a desk. Not to mention you will be paid way better. Business managers with CPAs are great. Smacked the cat in the face accidentally. Now he's having a sulk and not talking to me. Does he usually talk to you? He says his name is Garfield. I'm sorry Ashuastate. Wanted to wake up at 7 am. Woke up at 13 o'clock. Now you're 5 minutes late for work. Flive. I just want to flive. Waka 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 wiki wiki wire. Set your alarm lucky baby. Set your alarm lucky baby. Spilled coffee on my brand new dress shirt. This morning my kid ate syrup drenched waffles then wiped his face on my linen shirt. I'm still wearing it. Syrup is sugar based, so it should come out with some soap and water. I tore my linen shirt coming out of the bathroom at a client office today. Rolled up those sleeves and kept on trucking. I like how you go with the flow as well. I'm still wearing it. What? His skin after you justifiably murdered him? I got halfway through a Cliff Bar before I realized it expired in 2018. My stomach is making interesting noises. Edit. There's been a lot of inquiry into how I am doing, so I'd like to let you all know I survived, but barely won like one prayer. Please donate to my GoFundMe so that I can get an in-date Cliff Bar. I'm halfway through a Cliff Bar and I'm just going to hope it's current. Those things would survive a nuclear winter. Man, sometimes patrolling the Mojave makes me wish for one. When I got this assignment I thought there'd be more gambling. I realize from where you're sitting this must look like a 24-carat cliff of bad luck, but the truth is, the bar was expired from the start. Forgot to take all my pain meds, school's starting soon, and am not prepared. Edit. Just got home, and I'm finally able to take the meds. I take 2 over-the-counter painkillers, and 1 doctor-prescribed muscle relaxer. Not usually all at once. I take them, because of my dislocated wrist, to try and diminish the pain. Damn. I understand that. Best of luck to ya. Hope you can get through it. You are not prepared. Illidin. I am my meds. Feel the pain of 10,000 years. Thinking about this woman I need to get off my mind. I'm trying to not think about this guy that's on my mind. Why don't we trade? You think about my guy and I'll think about your woman. Fair? Why don't you start thinking about each other? I agree. They should go on a date. Now Kith. We did it. Reddit. A telephone interview. Panicked at being unable to answer the technical questions, not even particularly difficult ones. My mind just went blank and hung up. Too embarrassed to get in contact to apologize. Reach back out. Man, I do phone interviews all day long, and I'm well aware that it's an awkward situation for my candidates. It's tough when you can't read faces, social cues, etc. So as a result I tend to be way more forgiving of awkwardness than during in-person interviews. There's no shame in pausing for a moment to formulate your response. I actually prefer it to those who just jump in and ramble, call them back, claim technical issues, and ask to reschedule. You got this. I used to work at a technical support call center, and claiming technical issues on my end gave me extra time to Google their problems. Use this all the time. That's strange. Let me check our internal documentation. Opens Google. I skipped 3 class and missed a club creative meeting. Anxiety makes me so afraid of meeting people lately. I strongly feel they either pitying or hating me. There's lingering in my mind the thought about dropping college. That feels so right. Anecdotal. I was extremely anxious all through my 20s and participated in no social things ever. Did extremely well in school, but had no real friends. The thing that cured my anxiety was my mom passing and my dad getting dementia. Now I have to be social and talk to doctors and take my dad places. I don't feel anxious at all anymore. I have suicidal thoughts now more than ever, but I'm not anxious. You are a good human being for taking care of your father. I pray things become better for you going forward. Went to class. Didn't get a clicker question. I could have slept in and spared everybody, including myself, my presence. If you don't go to class, you may as well just light money on fire. You're throwing away training you're paying for. I wish I would have understood that better in college. Today, in my 30s, I take all the training I can get. I use my yearly education budget. I take training seriously because it helps me better at my job. The better I'm at my job, the more I get paid. I'm going to spend 8 to 9 hours working regardless. I may as well do as much as I can to earn that $50 hour, because that is better than $25 hour. It is honestly very simple.